How other people talk in English. Alex often felt a quiet dread whenever English conversations arose. His native tongue flowed effortlessly, but the mere thought of articulating ideas in English made his palms sweat. He longed to express himself fluently, to engage in lively debates, and truly connect with others from different cultures. This constant internal battle truly hindered his potential. He watched how other people talk in English videos, mesmerized by their confidence and articulation. A deep desire ignited within him. He had to change. He realized that merely understanding grammar wasn't enough. The key lay in active production. The journey seemed daunting, yet the vision of effortless conversation kept him going. His first step was crucial: start talking at home. Awkwardly, he began narrating his daily activities to himself, describing objects, and even conducting imaginary interviews. This private practice, free from judgment, was surprisingly liberating. He stumbled, fumbled, but persisted, building a foundational comfort level with the language. How to learn English became his mantra. He understood that rote memorization was ineffective. Instead, he sought immersive experiences, transforming his home into a personal English bubble. Every label, every note, every thought was consciously translated. This consistent effort, though challenging, started to yield noticeable improvements in his recall. He meticulously crafted an English study plan for talking, not just grammar drills. His plan included specific daily targets: 5 new words, 10 minutes of shadow speaking, and a 5-minute self-conversation. This structured approach brought discipline to his learning, making the vast task of language acquisition feel manageable and progressive. Alex harbored a particular fascination with British English, admiring its nuanced pronunciations and idiomatic expressions. "Let's talk in British English" became a specific subset of his practice. He devoured BBC podcasts and documentaries, attempting to mimic accents and intonations precisely, aiming for that authentic, sophisticated sound. The next hurdle was daunting: how to talk with anyone. He started with low-stakes interactions online, joining international forums and chat groups. Typing felt safer, yet he knew verbal communication was essential. He gradually built up the courage to participate in voice calls, starting with simple greetings and questions. "Let me tell you talking tips," he mentally rehearsed, remembering advice from online gurus. He learned the power of active listening, asking open-ended questions, and using filler words to buy time. Maintaining eye contact and smiling also boosted his confidence, making conversations feel less like an exam and more like an exchange. Each successful interaction, no matter how small, fueled his growing confidence. He realized that mistakes were part of the process, not failures. The fear of sounding imperfect slowly receded, replaced by an eagerness to communicate. This shift in mindset was perhaps the most crucial "How to Talk in English" lesson. Learn English was not a destination but a continuous journey. He diversified his resources, watching different genres of films, reading novels, and even listening to English stand-up comedy. Exposure to various accents and speech patterns enriched his vocabulary and comprehension significantly. The world of English truly opened up for him. He vividly recalled the advice, "Why you must listen." Active listening, he discovered, was not just about understanding words but grasping context, tone, and unspoken cues. It allowed him to anticipate responses and formulate his own contributions more effectively. Listening formed the bedrock of his conversational fluency. His daily routine now revolved around English. From morning news to evening podcasts, he consciously immersed himself. He narrated his morning coffee ritual, described his commute, and even practiced debates with imaginary opponents in his head. This constant self-engagement was vital for reinforcing new language patterns. There were days when progress felt stagnant, moments of frustration. Yet, he remembered the initial awkwardness and how far he had come. These plateaus were merely opportunities to re-evaluate his English study plane for talking, perhaps to try new methods or revisit foundational concepts. Persistence became his greatest ally. He learned to embrace mistakes as powerful learning tools. A mispronounced word or an awkward sentence wasn't a failure, but data. He'd note it down, research the correct usage, and practice it repeatedly. This analytical approach to errors accelerated his improvement, turning perceived blunders into stepping stones. The transition from talking to himself to talking with others was challenging. He sought out language exchange partners online and in local meetups. Initially, conversations were stilted, filled with pauses. But through consistent effort and mutual patience, these interactions became increasingly natural and enjoyable. How other people talk in English taught him about cultural nuances and varying communication styles. He observed how native speakers used humor, sarcasm, or understatement. This broadened his understanding beyond mere vocabulary, allowing him to navigate social situations with greater ease and appropriateness. Mimicry, initially a tool for accent practice, evolved into a strategy for internalizing natural speech patterns. He would repeat phrases he heard, not just for pronunciation, but for intonation and rhythm. This active mirroring helped his tongue and brain adapt to the unique flow of English. Fluency wasn't about speaking fast, he realized, but about speaking smoothly and clearly. He focused on reducing hesitations, choosing precise vocabulary, and forming coherent thoughts on the fly. This deliberate practice transformed his hesitant sentences into flowing expressions, making his conversations much more engaging. He began actively participating in online discussion groups, even venturing into public speaking clubs. These environments pushed him beyond his comfort zone, forcing him to formulate arguments and respond spontaneously. Each new challenge refined his ability to talk with anyone, on a diverse range of subjects. Phrasal verbs were a particular hurdle, yet essential for natural English. He dedicated specific time to understanding their varied meanings and common usages. Instead of just memorizing lists, he learned them within contexts, creating example sentences that resonated with his own experiences, solidifying his grasp. Similarly, incorporating idioms felt like unlocking a secret level of English proficiency. He started by recognizing common ones, then gradually tried to sprinkle them into his own speech. The goal wasn't to force them, but to use them naturally, adding color and authenticity to his conversations. He developed strong self-correction habits. If he mispronounced something or used incorrect grammar, he wouldn't ignore it. He'd pause, correct himself, and continue. This immediate feedback loop, even if self-generated, significantly reduced recurring errors and reinforced accurate usage in real time. The greatest reward was the profound joy of genuine connection. He could now share stories, express opinions, and understand jokes without the language barrier. English became a bridge, connecting him to a wider world of ideas and friendships, proving that his dedication had truly paid off. Inspired by his own journey, Alex started offering tips to friends struggling with English. He shared his talking tips, emphasizing the importance of daily practice and embracing imperfections. Witnessing their progress reinforced his belief that anyone, with the right approach, could achieve fluency. Why you must listen became a cornerstone of his advice. He explained how attentive listening not only improved comprehension but also provided models for speaking. It taught rhythm, intonation, and natural pauses, elements often overlooked in traditional grammar-focused learning methods. Listening truly unlocked better speaking. His learning extended far beyond traditional classroom settings. He utilized every opportunity for exposure, turning mundane tasks into learning moments. Cooking while listening to an English recipe, or exercising to an English podcast, ensured constant, organic immersion without feeling like arduous study. The benefits spilled over into his professional life. He could now confidently participate in international meetings, present ideas, and network with global colleagues. His improved English opened new career doors and expanded his professional horizons in ways he had only dreamed of before. While initially focused on a British accent, he learned to embrace his own unique accent. The goal shifted from sounding native to sounding clear and understandable. Authenticity became more important than perfect mimicry, allowing his personality to shine through his speech. He discovered the joy of storytelling in English. Crafting narratives, even simple anecdotes, forced him to think creatively and utilize a broader vocabulary. This practice enhanced his descriptive abilities and made his conversations more engaging and memorable for listeners. Technology played a pivotal role in his English study plan for talking. Apps for vocabulary, AI-powered pronunciation checkers, and online language exchange platforms became invaluable tools. He harnessed these resources to personalize his learning and track his progress effectively. Repetition, he found, was not boring but essential. Repeating new phrases, rewatching favorite scenes, and revisiting difficult grammar points solidified his understanding and recall. This deliberate practice transformed fleeting knowledge into deeply ingrained linguistic habits, making his responses more automatic. Even with increased confidence, nerves sometimes struck before important conversations. His talking tips included breathing exercises and positive self-talk. He learned to reframe nervousness as excitement, channeling that energy into sharper focus and clearer articulation, especially when talking with anyone important. Building a robust vocabulary was an ongoing project. He moved beyond simple word lists, focusing on collocations and words in context. He kept a personal journal of new words encountered in books or conversations, ensuring they became active rather than passive knowledge. Dedicated pronunciation practice, often overlooked, was crucial for clarity. He utilized online dictionaries with audio, carefully mimicking sounds and intonation patterns. Recording his own voice and comparing it to native speakers helped him identify and correct subtle errors, making his speech much clearer. He implemented active recall techniques, testing himself constantly. Instead of passively rereading notes, he'd quiz himself on definitions, grammar rules, and idioms. This active engagement forced his brain to retrieve information, strengthening neural pathways and solidifying his "how to learn English" journey. To truly talk with anyone authentically, he knew he needed to understand common slang and colloquialisms, especially in British English. He learned to differentiate between formal and informal language, recognizing when and where to use specific expressions without sounding unnatural or offensive. Mastering small talk, often dismissed as trivial, proved invaluable. He practiced initiating simple conversations, commenting on the weather, or asking about hobbies. These brief exchanges were perfect for warming up his English muscles and building rapport before diving into deeper discussions. Eventually, he found himself thinking in English. This shift, where thoughts no longer needed translation, marked a significant milestone. It was the culmination of countless hours of immersion, self-talk, and dedicated English study playing for talking efforts, truly transforming his cognitive processes. Patience and perseverance were his unwavering companions. He understood that language acquisition was a marathon, not a sprint. There were no shortcuts, only consistent effort. His journey taught him that dedication, even on days without visible progress, accumulates into profound mastery. He consciously engaged with various English media, news, documentaries, podcasts, and even gaming streams. This diverse exposure ensured he encountered different registers, topics, and accents, enhancing his listening comprehension and providing a rich source for new vocabulary and expressions. To prepare for real-life interactions, he used role-playing. He'd imagine specific scenarios, ordering food, asking for directions, or a job interview, and practice his responses. This mental rehearsal helped reduce anxiety and made him feel more prepared when talking with anyone. He made sure to celebrate every small milestone. A successful conversation, understanding a difficult joke, or effortlessly using a new idiom. These small victories reinforced his motivation and reminded him of the progress he was making the entire Learn English journey enjoyable. He actively sought out and built a support network of fellow learners and native speakers. Sharing experiences, offering encouragement, and receiving constructive feedback from this community proved immensely beneficial. It turned a solitary endeavor into a shared, enriching experience. Intonation, the melody of English, became a particular focus. He learned how rising and falling tones conveyed different meanings and emotions. Practicing specific sentence patterns with correct intonation made his speech sound much more natural and expressive, capturing the essence of how other people talk. Beyond words, understanding cultural context proved vital. He learned about common social norms, humor, and polite expressions prevalent in English-speaking countries. This cultural literacy enhanced his ability to talk with anyone appropriately and avoid misunderstandings, particularly in British settings. His goal was to convert passive vocabulary, words he recognized, into active vocabulary, words he could use. This involved conscious effort, creating sentences, using new words in conversation, and even writing short paragraphs incorporating them. This shift was key for actual speaking fluency. Every day brought new discoveries, a new idiom, a subtle pronunciation rule, or a fascinating cultural insight. This ongoing process of learning kept his motivation high and transformed the daunting task of learn English into an exciting adventure, full of endless possibilities. Self-doubt, a constant companion in the early days, gradually faded. He replaced negative self-talk with affirmations of progress and capability. His journey taught him that consistent effort, coupled with a belief in oneself, could overcome any linguistic barrier, truly mastering how to talk in English. Having navigated the complexities of how to learn English himself, Alex became a valuable resource for others. He freely shared his talking tips, outlining his English study plan for talking, and emphasizing why you must listen as foundational elements for success. Even after achieving fluency, he knew learning was lifelong. He continued reading, listening, and seeking new conversational opportunities. The desire to refine his skills and stay current with evolving language usage remained strong, ensuring his English never stagnated. Now, when English conversations arise, Alex feels a surge of excitement, not dread. He engages effortlessly, sharing his thoughts and connecting deeply. His journey from shy beginner to confident communicator exemplifies that how other people talk in English can become your reality.